Well, that's good news, but, and I were just also curious to follow up on whether any fine had been levied because of the
No,
extensive excavation and cutting that did occur?
that will come later. We haven't even broached that subject yet.
Okay, what is the process for that?
Only be, and that's the subject of our old business discussion is fines. I mean, the fine is almost, it's not even a slap on the wrist. It's only $200 that you can levy for something like that. So, but Chip Stahl has indicated that he would pay the fine. So,
Yeah, I think the fine is more symbolic and sort of,
I don't think he has any problem paying the fine.
right.
No,
I think it just,
no, so that's all I can tell you. And since I've never fined anybody as tree warden, I really don't know the mechanism, which is, we can certainly look into that.
Yeah, in my experience, it's really has to go through, I don't know if it has to go through town council, but it probably has to go through the town manager. And then potentially through town council, I'm not sure, but in this case, I don't think that, I do think that the builder, Chip Stahl, certainly wants to do everything in the interest of the tree and within the scope of what is allowed, and he's fully cooperating with everything we've asked him to do. Post or after the excavation happened around the tree. So I think that we have a very cooperative person we're dealing with here, and the fine itself is not. I understand the symbolism of a fine to say, this person screwed up, let's make an example of it. Whether that is productive or not, I don't know.
Yeah, I think the fact that he's willing to do the things that he needs to do with Bartlettry is more important. So
right. Yeah.
well, yeah, it's certainly encouraging to hear that he's willing to, work after the fact. It would be comforting for us and our neighbors if there was some sort of deterrent for any further damage happening in the future. There's some additional construction plans in the works for this property that could cause additional stress to the tree. We just want to make sure that there is some sort of deterrent, even if it's a small fine, just to have a way to hold people accountable.
Yep. We hear you. We'll move along in that. So, all right. I'd like to move along here to discussion of the bylaw for increasing fines for illegal tree removal and pruning, that sort of thing. Drew, where are we with town council on this?
Yeah, so I brought this to the town manager and assistant town manager. We did a quick search. I was just trying to find it on my phone. I believe state law says that we can't fine, or a tree warden can't fine anyone more than $500.
Yeah.
So obviously there's a lot of hoops to jump through to change $300 to $500 in our town bylaws. The intent of this is to give you enough teeth to actually deter other behavior, right?
Right.
I don't think going from $300 to $500.
Oh,
it's going to make a difference.
No. I think we want to see it an exorbitant.
Well, yeah, as a ceiling, right? It's probably a sliding scale. It's probably as determined. There's different, levels to it.
Yeah.
Now I know Charlie's referenced another community or other communities that have. Okay.
I actually reached out. I haven't had any response, so
yeah.
I reached out to their tree warden, to Christopher, and saying, "How did you guys implement this bylaw that you have getting around?" I think it's General Law Part 1 title.
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
the thing
it
is.
seems
I
like-
reference the whole thing with the $500 max.
Yeah.
Because,
And if it's doable, that's great. We would love to have guidance from another community that's made it happen. It
Well,
just,
The thing is, Rob, when he had your job, he started, I'm pretty sure he used Lexington as the model for this, but it's so unworkable, and it just, you basically, you're trading caliper inch or whatever it is, right? And you buy so many trees. I mean, we get this all the time from people that want to take a big tree down in their property, and they're willing to buy 10 trees. I mean, that's kind of nothing new. And it just invites removing a tree.
Right.
It's not something I don't think, particularly with elms, we don't want to that situation. What we really like to do is, if somebody takes down, it's by the value of the tree.
Mhm.
And also, if it is a town tree, I'd like to see, a vandalizing,
Right, some kind of criminal charge.
some kind of criminal
Mhm.
charge. I mean,
I agree. I mean, it needs to be, unfortunately, the level of money that shows up here, even if you said it's 50 grand, in the scheme of a $20 million house, home build, what's 50 grand to some of these people?
Right,
So
But criminal charges.
something more,
Right.
tacked on it, could
Yeah.
follow them. Maybe that is the deterrent.
we'd have a ceiling of, I mean, I think we had it around maybe 25,000 or something, but I mean, that's enough to give somebody pause. But the other part of it is vandalizing town property.
well, it's definitely an interesting angle. Because like you said, I think it carries a much different weight.
It does.
With that being said, do we know of any precedents that's been set elsewhere?
Oh, I
Or
wanted to.
at the, whether it be at a town or state level, especially perhaps because of the historic nature of Nantucket, and I don't know, kind of, not delineation, but, the determination that a tree is like historic and
Right.
obviously town property, things like that. So check the boxes that make it so that it can be criminal. That might be tough, but I think, it's an interesting point. I think it'd be worth looking into.
It could go, it should go for almost any tree, it is, I mean, you bash into a fountain on Main Street, I would say that's vandalizing, and he's being prosecuted for,
Yeah.
I mean, but
Yeah,
how is the fountain any different than the tree?
can we do some research
You know?
to see if there's, again, like a precedence that's been set for damage to tree being the same as damage to other public property? Right? I think it doesn't even sound that outlandish to me.
You can make the argument
I
that
think the point is we
the
need to.
trees absorb much more town resources than, than a fountain or a bench or something. If Dale's
Sure.
constantly caring for it with a lot of man hours and time and energy.
Yeah.
There's,
Trees are somehow treated differently. I mean, they're town property, and they should be.
They're not a lawn, yeah.
Right. I mean, they're protected by chapter 37, but and everybody looks to that, but I think we can look beyond that and treat this as a town asset. And this is what I think we gotta talk to town council about, to see if that's a possibility that we can enact, a bylaw that would treat it as such.
So I have some new information. I stumbled across a bill that another town has filed with the state legislature to allow them to recover attorney's fees when they have to sue somebody for things like this
Mhm.
that are currently capped at just a $300 fine. They mentioned trees, but that wasn't the focus of their particular article. So I need to find out more about what that bill is, what that town is, what the contents are, and see if that's something that we should incorporate here. Because when you add attorney's fees, now if you win, the party who did the damage is not just paying the $500 fine, but they're paying for all of the legal costs that you have to sue them to get the $500 fine.
Right,
It also gives the town an incentive to actually pursue somebody
sure,
instead of just,
Yeah.
saying it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So that's another angle that we
Sure,
could
yeah.
talk about.
You go next, but just remind me, I have a good point. Good.
Well, I was gonna say we should talk about Bartlett Consolidated,
Yeah,
because they've
Yeah.
done recovery work for when town trees have been hit by vehicles. In recovering the cost of the tree that was damaged or taken out, by motor vehicle accidents. There might be
in
something
terms
there.
of determining value.
Right, as to how they go about going after people's insurance to get, and how they've done that in the past. So we can work on that.
Yeah, and I wonder, I mean, hopefully it's not this, I wonder if they're just, well, we've recovered the money to plan to do, whatever,
Right.
Well, that's still a
sadly
lot.
costs.
That's why I'm just
Oh, yeah,
curious.
yeah,
as to how, what they've done
Obviously,
in
if
the
we have
past.
go to plant an elm tree, it's not quite the value of the ones that are
no,
there.
and,
But-
and that's what the Lexington thing invites.
Yes, right, so two things. One, as far as the criminal charges for damaging a tree, I'm a big sports fan. This is probably worth looking into. The rivalry between University of Alabama and
Oh, the toilet.
Auburn.
Yeah,
No, the Tombs Corner trees
Yeah.
on the campus, they were poisoned by somebody.
oh, right.
And he was criminally charged. I think he went to prison for a while. I would look into that as, I don't know, I'm just thinking of like other examples
Yeah.
where there was deliberate
Sure,
damage to a tree, and obviously accidental and deliberate are two different scenarios too, but I was just thinking
He dropped out a minute ago.
that would be something worth looking into. I know it's a different state, but
Yeah.
you know.
yeah,
And then as far as Lexington goes, I know that you said you've reached out and haven't heard back. I actually just heard the other day, Frank from Environmental Partners was here. He's friends with the Director of Public Works in Lexington. Professionally friends with, so I can try to reach out as well. I think the biggest thing, and that's why there's these boxes we need to check before they
Yep.
they let us, kind of have access to town
Sure.
council. They just want to make sure that we've done our homework.
Right.
And I think if we show up and we say, look, there's criminal charges in 5 different cases, 3 in Massachusetts, that one in Alabama, whatever, and then also Lexington does it, they might say, oh, actually, we got the idea from Arlington,
Right.
and so we can prove that, hey, we're not the first people to do this, and we have probably even more so a reason to do it than other communities.
Yeah.
Because of the trees that we have that we're trying to protect, but also, like he said, the money, even 25 or 50,000, there are plenty of people that do, they would probably just laugh at that, and that's the cost of doing business,
I worked for,
but-
I was landscaping out here, worked for a client and wanted us to cut some stuff, like, you're gonna get fined, and she looked us dead in the face and said, I don't care about the fine, I want the view.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, I'll find somebody who will.
And that's why I think it kind of does, it would probably be helpful if it was a 2-pronged approach,
Right.
one to make them think about it,
right,
and one to make them pay for it,
right.
In
In a number of
oh, yeah, absolutely,
compensation.
literally pay and
Lawyer fees.
real,
All the things involved in pressing the case.
So I mean, if you committee members could do some homework, both with Lexington, I'll try to reach out as well.
Yep.
And look into some other precedents setting, cases, especially Massachusetts, if we can find them, I think that'd be huge.
Yeah.
We're not
I
the
never-
first
I never-
community to
You know,
deal with
I've got, I don't know if it's ever been pressed in Massachusetts as a property damage sort of thing, other than just the fine.
Yeah.
Which is,
I mean, Bartlett Consolidated does work all over the state, their insurance recovery,
so,
like, so that when somebody crashes into a guardrail out here, they'll grab the police report and they'll work that, and they get all their compensation out of the insurance.
Right.
It's the same sort of thing, they reached out to us, I think Mo took the call, this was, before Drew started, somebody had hit a town tree. And I don't know, whatever, it wasn't my case, so I had to follow up with it, he said, oh, somebody ran over a tree, do we want us to pursue this, and I think, well, he said, go for it, whatever.
They're like ambulance chasers then?
They just liaise on behalf of the town, they play project manager and deal with the insurance company, so they're doing it for us for the fountain. We don't have,
No, but
we can make time to deal with the fountain.
Sort of, they
They
watch that sort of stuff, and like, sometimes I reach out
Oh,
to
yeah.
us, we'll reach out to them. It's what they do, and then they'll, to say like, for a guardrail, for instance, they'll do all the insurance, and they'll come out to the town, and they kind of give us options, and say, we can come fix it ourselves, we can give you the materials, you can fix it, or have, when we want to do it, or we can like cut you a check. But they do all the work. which is great because dealing with insurance agents, companies for that sort of
We would
damage.
need a full-time person, town of Nantucket to deal with stuff like that. They're definitely a good resource.
Yeah.
Sounds
I'll
like we
call
should
them and find out.
Administration.
Well, all the GIS and this all go hand in hand, because we have to have it codified any.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotta have proof.
Now that effort of documenting the inventory of town trees.
Yeah,
That had been started.
Many, many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Will Derber a couple years ago
Yeah.
did a really thorough job with new software and,
Yeah.
you know, walked the streets with an assistant and got a lot of data. But that data hasn't gone anywhere at this point.
Some of it's in our People GIS system.
I was gonna say, we have a decent amount.
Yeah, as we
especially
go on, we can click
downtown.
on tree within our system. There's a
Yeah.
picture of it. There's should be the ID. You know,
But is that the publicly available system or is that just
I'm
internal?
not sure.
The data, like the metadata, like you said, like it would tell you what kind of tree it is.
Yeah.
Other specific data, that I think is really only internal.
Probably.
If you're on the town GIS, so I'm sure everyone uses it all the time, look at parcel data and stuff. There is a layer for trees. When
But
you
it's
turn them
not,
on,
it's not a town tree. It's just.
it is the
trees.
town trees.
It's not,
It's
not full enough.
it's not
Right.
a complete.
Oh, it's not
a complete
It's not
map.
comprehensive, but the trees that show up on there are
Right.
just town trees.
Right.
They
But
don't
if
show
I
the
go
ones
on
that you-
there,
Yeah.
property, and there's not an indication that there's a tree, and I know there's a tree on my property, then the implication, it's not a town tree on my property.
Right,
But
right.
it is,
And
that's the
so,
problem.
yeah, and so if you turn it on, there's really only trees downtown. In that, because they're well mapped there and they've been uploaded, but elsewhere, there are town trees that do not show up. So I get your point, which is people look and go, oh, must not be a town tree, it's not on here. So, you know, getting to that 100% is important because people can make a decision and we can hold them accountable, because if they say, well, it's not on the GIS, they assumed it wasn't a town tree, and we say, oh, well, we only uploaded half of them. You know, you almost can't quite blame them, but you hope that they would do a little
We
more than
got-
that.
That whole, it's got.
Well, they're required to, but nobody does, because nobody knows about
So, I mean, we've got to keep after Leslie Snell and hopefully, I know Will has got the go ahead from
it. Jeff.
from Jeff to pursue this. So, hopefully we make some strides. Dale, did Dale tell you that he found, he found all the permission, the easements for all of the elms along Cooper Farm Road and everything else? He
The ones that
lost them,
planted in the
and they were in his house somewhere. He was all,
Well, it's like,
Very
these are
excited
30-year-old
that-
bumper stickers, I mean, I just found them in box.
Yeah. it must have been at Dale's house.
Dale should probably keep this stuff on file.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
He should. Well, it was, there was a whole bunch of stuff in the old tree house. And the
Yeah.
tree house got moved and,
We're just lucky they.
Can we get those from Dale and make sure we get them scanned in
Yeah.
and saved
Yeah.
so that they're on the network and then they never disappear?
because that's important. He says he has around I think he said 65 out of the 75 trees.
But these are the ones we
Well,
planted in the 90s. those
Right,
elms,
right.
that's what happened.
All those-
Or even if we get
So we can show that to the rainy mode and say,
probably get it to the
Correct,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
right. That's always been,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
it's
something that
reported elsewhere.
Roy Ryder signed off.
Mhm.
So, anyway, that's good. So I think, put together some more information and, but we've got it. Town council will be helpful, give us a rate.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just, when I first brought this to them, Rick kind of did a quick search. He's like, we could do it, but you can only go from 300 to 500 bucks. So is it really worth it, especially considering the cost of town council?
Right.
But if we can go with some
Other
proper
stuff.
information, we do some legwork on criminal.
Yeah.
And other communities that have a better fine structure, I think that would really help.
I've never found it, but I've got the tree warden manual I have lists a lot of precedents.
Mhm.
But I've never come across anything other than, the fines.
well, the other thing, that fine's never been indexed for inflation. And it was $300.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, that's a bigger discussion, but
Yeah.
so many of our,
Yeah, it was
Our
$300
permits and
and
fines and things,
Yeah,
it's,
that's a
you know.
bigger,
yeah, it
it's a
hasn't
bigger
really,
hit, yeah.
right,
you know,
right.
the tree statute in Massachusetts hasn't been updated since it was enacted.
If you tell me I have to get right in the tree statute for the state.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You can just write right in there, exactly what we're looking for. That'd be great.
So,
Okay.
all right, good.
Not this year.
Yeah, like I said, I fully support it. I
Yeah.
think that if we go with enough information, they obviously would too.
Yeah.
And it's a good initiative to update things, because yes, it's probably long overdue for a revamp.
Yeah.
But inevitably that there's that speed bump kind of at the town administration level that we need to make sure we do our homework.
Sure.
If we're gonna look for basically a decent amount of money, you know, for them to, you know, help push this forward.
But
And-
are there any contacts at UMass that would help with this kind of information? Or-
Ben, how about, when you were, anything on, at UMass that would be helpful? Are you there, Ben? Guess he's not.
Silence.
It's on mute.
Oh, Ben, you're
Yeah,
on.
I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, I got it.
Uh,
So yeah, let me actually look into that. There may be somebody. I know there's a professor at UMass that was formerly arborist for the city of Boston, and I'm sure there's something in their language. But you know, I was also thinking, is it possible to attach this also to permit sign-offs? You know, that's one of the biggest things that other boards on the island do for leverage is, you know, you can't get your C of O, your certificate of occupancy on a new build without sign-offs from the various boards, you know, planning, Concom, if Concom is in play, HDC, so on and so forth. So, you know, that could be another possible angle to look at too. But I'll make
Yeah.
some calls to the people I know at UMass.
That I asked Leslie Snell about that issue, and she did not want to mix those two things together. Essentially, I think she said that, you know, tree
Yeah,
rules are not her department, and she doesn't want to have to coordinate all of the permits that her department processes with the tree thing. I mean, that's adding a tremendous burden for her department. It sounds
yeah,
odd.
no, I would say too bad. I would say too bad. This is important enough.
Yeah, I think, yeah, we really have, this is more of a directive thing from town manager. To say, this is what we.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they're way overburdened in their scope of permitting, but this is literally a like, did you go through this? Check. No, okay.
But
Then
I
you
think
know,
it could be
go through this process.
language onto the permit saying, you know,
Mm.
have you had the proper check by
Well,
the
it's probably the
town arborist?
easiest thing we can do is create a brochure and have it on the table there at the plus department. You know, say, for everybody doing
Yeah,
renovations,
it's not.
you know, here's what you need to know.
Yeah.
And, you know, because Leslie's gonna be very resistant to adding any administrative burden to the plus department.
Yeah, well, that's what the hope is. It's just
Yeah.
a simple line,
Right.
simple permit saying, have you, you know, you put the burden on the homeowner or the builder to have the property checks, just like with an OTR, it's supposed to be up to the house mover to check the route. And if they have a question about something, or if they see that there might be an issue, then they're supposed to contact us and Dale to come out and take a look, which is what we had, you know, last year when Warren Ard moved that house, Sconset. They didn't contact, you know, Warren wasn't there. His crew just did it, and they bashed all those trees.
Yep.
And come out of Sconset,
I'm
and
thinking,
you know, it was like, you know, Dale did what he could to kind of put a Band-Aid on it. But you know, at the end of the day, we looked at the permit. It's, you know, right on the over the road permit says, is the route clear? You know, please contact DPW and the town arborist. You know, or Dave if you have a question, or if you think there's an issue with a town tree. So all the burden should be on them to, you know, the builder, the homeowner, if they want to do something, you know, the people who build it, right on the top of Cliff Road, when you kind of go up to level out. They reached out to us in Dale before they did any work there. Fortunately, we just called up and said, hey, are these, we're not sure. We take a look. Dale went over and gave them the all clear that they were not town trees, and they removed the driveway. So I think it's, we're not asking Plus to do a
Yeah,
whole
no,
lot.
that's good.
I'm not going to search the
It's
GIS.
another box to check.
just I think it's added into the permit. Like, are there any town trees on the property? Contact, because Dale's he'll be more than happy to go over and take a look. And as incomplete as the GIS is Dale knows that when he decides to retire, if we don't have a tag on every tree, I don't know what we're going to do, but he knows the trees that he works on. He'll be able to give the designation.
Well, I mean, we lived through project retirement stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that there will be.
Well, Dale was already in place,
Yeah, he was absorbing that.
Yeah.
It's downloading his brain
Yeah.
to GIS or
That's
something else is going to be important before we let him go.
We need
Oh,
Dale Junior.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to get somebody out of the Stockbridge.
Yeah.
Arboriculture program.
And we need somebody with even more, somebody that went through the program, but has got some field experience. But attracting people here is deal is with that, so.
I got a buddy that works in Bartlett. Maybe I'll try to steal him.
Yeah.
He just actually relocated to he's like the Southwest safety region.
Yeah.
And I'll try to steal him. He was a former head
Yeah.
arborist in
Yeah.
town of Falls Church, Virginia. So we'll get him up here.
Dale's got he's gonna retire in what, 5 years, or is it?
No.
Well, I think at this point, he's probably fully invested. So
Oh, yeah,
whatever he decides, whatever he decides, it's on.
Well, hopefully he decides to hang around. For a while longer.
Yeah.
I hope.
No, that's definitely something that's important as we, over the next couple of years, make sure that we set it up so that he can assist someone with data collection. So uses, again, just download his brain.
Yeah.
So that it's set in stone,
Yeah.
That'd be important.
And Will's work on the GIS mapping is gonna be valuable as far as. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if sorry, I just wanted to add, if we can't, obviously Will would be the best choice for the person to finish the work. But it's not like he's the only one that can do it. There is data there, and I don't think we should be reliant on the availability of one person to be able to see this through. So, I think let's have a conversation with Will and with Jeff and see the reality of it. And if we have to find another avenue to get this done, let's just start pursuing it now rather than kind of waiting around for this to happen.
Did I hear correctly? There was data that Will collected that's not been uploaded to like the town's GIS?
Correct. I think there is data that has not been uploaded yet. I think that there's quite a bit of data that he has within a system that he's working with through. I don't know if that it was entirely town related, or correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was land council funded in conjunction with RPI and partially with the town. I don't know how these are all connected, but I don't think it ever got. I don't think that the data that was collected was fully uploaded yet.
But there's still more data collection to be done.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
It's something that,
Why?
right, I mean, realistically,
Yeah,
that's pretty quick.
There's a lot.
Not quick, but it's fairly simple, right? It's GPS data collection.
Yeah.
If the water department did a GPS unit, we could have an intern go around with Dale and just GPS all the trees.
That's what we did a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I thought that wasn't Mulvine and.
When Will was here,
Right.
we were looking at getting our own system, and then basically Will, when using the permits position, was going to start adding in like everything. There was going to be not just like trees, but like as he's walking by a tree, here's a stormwater, and kind of just work it. Like that was kind of the plan, was to just grab everything while he's out. So that may be, we may have to just relook at getting that back in the house. Creating a fine position to to do that data collection.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, I think it's summer engineering intern. That's
Yeah.
a fun assignment, but we don't have a GPS unit.
No, currently not.
Yeah, we've been
We'll
relying
shop
on the
We
late.
could just, I'll ask Will, he had all the, they had everything down, I think he was,
Yeah.
I think he was going to go to capital.
Okay.
Cause it was that dollar threshold. Well, they're gonna
So
get,
2 years out from that.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that'd be huge. And, between Blackwell and Associates and the water department, there's, base stations that they tie into. I mean, they're incredibly accurate.
there's also another that said we couldn't put out an RFP for this too.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I just think having, if we're gonna do it, it's doable in-house at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should, there's different ways to approach it. We can try to figure something out. No, I just gotta go, I stay always retiring. You know what our deadline is.
You just know what you're looking. You just have to know what you're looking at. That's the thing, right? So if the GPS unit and didn't have anything else that he had to do, but you really need somebody that says, okay, that's a American Elm at least, or it's a specialized set of skills. I think that should that can't be just an intern. They'd really need to be going around with somebody that knew exactly what they're looking at.
Yeah, no, I was thinking an intern joins Dale. You have Dale's brain with all the information and someone just to collect, the GPS units and coordinates and then put it in.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's gotta know what you're looking.
You have the tree person,
Yeah.
data person, that's all it is, just marrying the two. One's
Will
collecting.
just happened to be one person that can do both.
Right, yeah,
Well,
right.
he had an intern for a summer.
Yeah.
But he's a tree guy, he's also a
Exactly.
tech guy, so it's definitely.
So that's all good.
We get a kid from Stockbridge, we put him with Dale for the summer, and he falls in love with Nantucket, he takes over as the next arborist, he knows where all the town trees are, that's the play. That's the play.
All right, okay, good. All right, now, part of old business, I got this anonymous letter, it's regarding 43, Union Street, the Elm there. And I'll just read it. Dale should have a copy of this. And it's, Dave, I run a small seasonal
Let's
Nantucket.
go in and eat.
What's that, Ben? And I wanted you to know that I was contacted.
Nothing. Sorry.
This was a while back. I was contacted by the owner of 43 Union to dig a couple of big holes in his yard in early November near the town tree that we've been trying to protect from what he's proposing to do there on his property. And the holes are going to be dug for Arborjet out of Woburn. By the sounds of it, it doesn't seem like the homeowner received approval from the tree committee, so I thought you might want to know. I don't want to be involved with the project. The homeowner believes you will show up and be prepared to, and he's prepared to tell you that he has the right to dig holes wherever he wants to in his yard. And the person says, good luck with this. So anyway, November 21st is when he's apparently gonna have this Arborjet company. We've talked with some length at tree committee with Arborjet. I think this before you came on, Mary. I don't know if you were around, Charlie, when we.
I don't recall.
Probably, I don't think so. Yeah, Dale's familiar with it, and Ben's familiar with it, and Mike Mazzarelli was familiar with it. And I again, they could do a lot of damage. What this guy wants to do is put helicoils as foundation, because he thinks it's this little dollhouse of a place that he wants to build, but it's about this far. It'll end up being about this far from the tree. I mean, it'll be impossible to shingle this thing. but he still wants to pursue it, and it's just,
So we need setback rules for town trees.
yeah, the only place that, take a ride by this place, there's a garage on the property already. He tried to just build his little building where the garage is, but,
This is at
that's it,
43A, 43?
43, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And it's a beautiful elm. It's really what I call the queen of Union Street. It's a perfectly shaped American elm.
You can have a copy of the letter for the
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah. That's what I want to do. We shouldn't give a date. We gotta monitor this guy and make
Well,
sure.
so that was gonna be my question, what the next steps, I mean, if we know the date of when this work's happening.
Right.
Do we have Dale?
Yeah.
Visit?
With a police officer?
Yeah, it was a police officer. Because I mean, he's got, we didn't give him permission to do any test digging or anything. You have no permission to. Basically, it's like he has no permission to prune the tree, and if he's cutting roots, he's pruning the tree. Everybody thinks that it's the tree up above that you get permission to prune. It's also down below.
Hmm.
And he's well aware of the fact that we're not, we declined to allow him to do the test holes before. So he's bound to meet.
Yeah, I remember the meeting.
So yes.
Oh, yeah, he's coming to treat me. Or ask.
Surprised that you don't went that far.
Yeah, on Zoom. He didn't come physically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we have had, Dale was there, Ben was there, Mike Mazzarelli was there. Jim Cook from Bartlett Tree was there at the on-site meeting. This is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, the whole history of this thing. First of all, he wanted to do a full foundation of the thing. Just, I get, and Arthur Reed was saying that, well, we'll just hand dig it, I said, with how many thousand people are you gonna have, and then try to shore up a hole, for I mean, it was a totally ridiculous thing. So we got onto this helicoil thing. Anchors. You're familiar with that, Drew, or?
Not really.
Yeah, they use them for a lot for doing, I guess they use them for moorings,
Oh, okay.
and also for going through, wetlands that run, boardwalks or whatever.
They actually they're installing some now, actually in the corner, right off of Union Street, as you come around Constant Springs. There's those houses there for that new one-way road that leads to the harbor.
Oh, yeah.
That's what the guy's
yeah.
drilling into the ground with
Gotcha,
that
okay.
excavator.
Right, yeah, I did see those.
So all those houses down there, because you can't do a foundation or anything there, so all those houses are on piers.
Yeah, I went by the groundwater, looked like it was 2 feet below grade.
Oh, yeah, constant pumping when they're excavating there, it's groundwater, so. But anyway, that's what this guy wants to do, and that's, root damage is one thing, and then he wants to build a house on top of the root system of the tree, which is gonna block nutrients, sunlight, anything that comes out of the sky is gonna be blocked by, he's saying he wants to put a irrigation system under the house. I mean, that's only gonna cause root rot. I mean, it's like, it's a ridiculous project.
Yeah, trying to recreate Mother Nature.
Yeah.
Re-engineer.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Anyway, we're aware of that. I'm gonna be monitoring it myself,
Okay.
and we'll, Dale,
Trade, yeah, okay.
I'll be, Dale, give him that, pass along the copy of that, Dale, we should have this. I have no idea who this person is.
Reached out.
But there's neighbors that are watching this guy
Yeah.
all around,
The 21st is next Wednesday, so.
Right.
If they're really trying to be sneaky,
Yeah,
I would
they-
probably show, if it were me, I would show up on Wednesday, but I would drill
It's
On-
Tuesday.
on Thanksgiving.
Tuesday.
Yep,
I
Okay,
don't want you to deal with it.
yeah,
right, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
He's gotta cook the turkey on
Yeah.
Wednesday. Yeah. All right, so that's that. Now, Mary, you,
Yeah, so I
move on
was
to the new
just,
business.
So the sewer main that's going in down Surfside Road and Atlantic Avenue. I was told that they were gonna stay away from the big elm on Surfside Road. And they kind of went down the middle of the street more, and so that gave me pause. They've been piling equipment underneath the tree. So they're headed down Atlantic, I think they're past the big elm at the corner. But there's two more big elms on Atlantic, and then they're gonna be on Pleasant, there's more big elms
Oh,
there.
you know that.
Are we watching them? Are we in touch with them?
Yeah.
David promised at the beginning that he was gonna be really careful about the tree, but I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah, well, according to Dale, I asked Dale, I said, well, how much root damage was there going past the big? And he said, they really didn't find anything.
Okay.
And David said they didn't find anything either.
So, I don't know if you guys remember, I came to a tree committee meeting when I used to work for Weston Sampson, and we did the sewer job on Vesper Lane. So
Oh, now I
we started,
Now I remember you.
we started in the old driveway for the pool that's
Right.
now been moved.
Right.
And we came across that intersection. I honestly never saw a route.
Yeah.
So as far as the force main goes, I was glad they looked
Yeah.
like they were staying in the other lane.
Right.
So I'm not entirely shocked that they didn't really find much,
Yeah.
because I know that it's a pretty extensive root system, but I think it probably extends further in other directions where you can find water, obviously not under the pavement, so.
Right.
So that's good, but going up, I mean, as part of that project, the requirement is that when they're around the stretch of counter routes, they gotta kind of hydro excavate and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
Especially on Atlantic where it's pretty tight in some other areas, I
Oh,
think it's
there's-
inevitable that they'll.
Coming out
On
of,
route.
coming out of Lily Street, at that corner, I know they're gonna hug the other side of the street where that big one is that Paul, remember that painting that Paul all along Necker did of that, you ever see that? It was a beauty. Anyway, that'll be protected and, going on up Gardner Street, because it's gonna go, where is it gonna go? Is it gonna
So
go
it goes down Lily, and then it turns into Liberty,
Yep,
and then Liberty takes a left. And they take a left a little bit, so they,
they're going up
I'm sorry,
Gardner.
yes, up Gardner,
Yep,
and then left. And then
where are they going left? Are they still
I'm trying
going
to
left? They're not,
they're going over to Winter and then Pine.
okay, they're going.
So they're going that way.
up the main
What's the next left? If you're going up Gardner, but you don't make it all the way to the
Liberty.
main street,
Liberty.
Liberty, right, so the force main's going
It's
left,
not a left.
left on Liberty,
And then
The
over.
force main's taking a left,
Then it's
yeah, not
going over,
traffic,
then
yeah.
it's going over Wall.
and then it's taking right on Winter,
Winters.
and then across Main onto Pine, and then coming out
Pine to
Silver. Yes.
Yeah, Pine to Silver, like there's not much along Pine.
Right, no, but there is, that's between the Silver and Five Corners. There's a-
That's-
it's always unpleasant.
That's the pinch point, because it's.
And the two on Atlantic,
there's-
yeah.
There's trees on either, there's
Yeah.
big elms and lindens on either side of the street that are important, so. Hopefully they just go down the middle of the street there, because there's not much we can do either way.
Yeah, it might be worth looking at the plans, because and every road is different.
Yeah.
Some are just getting a sewer force main.
Yeah.
Some they're redoing the gravity.
Right.
And water and drainage. I mean, some of those tinier roads are basically curb to curb, or even sidewalk to sidewalk, where there's
Yeah.
disturbance, depending on how many of the different utilities they're gonna, improve on their way through.
But I haven't seen them using any kind of
Hydro excavation,
right,
the bag and truck and
I
all that
haven't
stuff.
seen, I haven't seen that yet. Have you seen that? I think they've been just
And maybe they've gotten lucky thus far to not damage anything, but
so far.
yeah, it's probably a bit risky to assume they'll continue to hit the jackpot.
Well, the other thing is piling the equipment and materials underneath the tree.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No, it's not.
I'm
And
just,
even-
hopeful because it's fall that it won't have that big impact.
Yeah, I don't
Is there
know.
any rehab we need to do on that one, or the school needs to do? Because it's a bit.
I think we could probably deeply feed that. It's, I mean, it's lived.
Yeah.
Without much in the way other than maybe the school department fertilizing the turf.
I'm not sure they do.
Yeah,
It
I'm
doesn't
sure
look like it.
I don't
It's
know.
true. Yeah.
I was thinking, maybe just that,
All
running
natural.
curve and
Yeah,
cover some of the.
yeah, that's not gonna, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think maybe air spading would be.
They're straight and working off of it.
And motion. If it's looking like a stress,
We'll keep it in.
yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that people were aware. I mean,
But those two big ones that are in front of the one on Atlantic Ave, there's nothing, it's all out in the street as far as I can see.
I think the one thing that will help, my understanding is obviously they've been doing night work. Cause it's Surfside, it's busy,
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
I believe when they get to Atlantic, they're, and all the way through.
They'll be
it's-
working
I
all
think
day.
it's days.
Yeah, that's
So
good,
it makes it a little easier.
sure, yeah.
For
Keep-
people to keep their eyes on it.
Sure,
If
Yeah, 'cause
if
they'll
they're
be
there
just-
at 1 in the morning,
they'll be
obviously,
just
I don't
closing
think
down
it's gonna
the
be much of a
street.
presence from. the
they'll be just
committee.
closing down those streets anyway, so.
Yeah.
Well, we'll hope for the best, I mean, it's what happened to Nantucket, back in the 30s and 40s, when they did the first big infrastructure thing, is that's what killed the tree. I always thought it was Dutch elm disease. It was really the sewer work that did the trees in.
Mm.
It was like trees and no trees, so that panther. I mean, Dutch elm played a part,
Right.
but it was that project, the infrastructure project that did it, so. We have to mitigate it as much as we can. And I mean, the contractor knows about it. I think they're certainly willing to.
Yeah, I think if anything, the next time we talk to the engineer,
Yeah,
they're very good, they're attentive. I'll remind them
Yeah.
of the importance of certain areas.
and get after David, make sure he's monitoring,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about the engineer, they have someone on site
Yeah,
every minute that
right,
the contractor is, so.
Yeah.
That's someone that is really gonna be the one that's gonna keep them honest.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
If they were unattended, I would not put it past them, I'm not bad mouthing, I just wouldn't put it past them, just, put the pipe in and
sure,
they're trying to turn a profit, but it's that engineer, the resident engineer that should be watching for that.
Sure.
Telling them, hey,
They're working on the town's payroll. That's
Who's that?
Overseer.
The engineer? oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, no, they don't. They get to hire their own babysitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what they're there for, is
Yeah.
to, keep them, hold them
Yeah, so if you could
responsible.
just make sure that.
Yeah.
They're aware of them.
it's important.
Yeah, and they're doing some work for us, I actually did a meeting with them yesterday, so I'll mention that.
All right, well, I think, we got anything else here? Okay. I think we're good. Motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second? Second? All in favor?
Second.
All right.
Aye.
Judy, let me know if you'd like a bumper sticker that says Nantucket Island every day is Arbor Day.
Sure.
Oh, I want one.